Hari Om and welcome to all the divine Atmajyotis. Let us continue as part of our Vedantic meditation, Sri Dakshinamurthy Stotra contemplation. Today it is the fourth line of the first Dhyana Shloka. Atmaaraamam Mudita-Vadanam Dakssinnaamuurti-Miidde. So let us reflect on this and each one of you, whoever feels comfortable, can share your views. Who would like to begin?
So, do you mean that he is complete with no limitations and so is rejoicing in his own self, and that's what shows up as bliss in the face. If one is complete, there is nowhere else to go, nowhere to look for.
Very nice. Yes,
I would like to say it this way, because he is complete, he's in his own self, that is reflecting on his face. Now, for example, when we see people like a child, you can, because a child is a new, until the ego has come, initially the first few years of a child. So the child is always in the present moment. It's experiencing the self. It's always in the, at least a newborn baby. You can see that. And you can see it in its eyes. You don't know why you feel happy seeing a child, but you know it because it is, the face itself reflects it, the eyes, and also the face. Now, even for when you see Guruji also, they're in the self, so they're very peaceful. His laughter is like a child. It is not like it doesn't have anything attached to it. It's fully it's so natural. It is full of joy. So I think that is what it means by the blissful face. It doesn't have any trace of, let's say, if you see normal people, there will be somewhere the ego is there. So somewhere that jealousy or whatever is or whatever emotions that person has, whatever the ego you're attached to, somewhere in the face it's there. It is seen. But here, because Dakshinamurti is fully in his self, he's reposed in his being. His face also reflects that in some way. His peace, his tranquility, his knowledge, everything is seen in himself. So his face is very blissful.
Very nice. Wonderful. Thank you, Ashwini. Who would like to share next? Deepaji, what do you feel?
When we are able to meditate properly, then the blissful face, the blissfulness would be reflected in our face itself. This is what is said in the shloka. But when I meditate, either I go to the past or the future, and very few times I notice that I am in the present. Don't know how to deal with it, sir.
So when you're thinking, for example, a thought comes, right?
Yeah.
It is like somebody knocking on the door.
Yeah.
So somebody is knocking on the door.
Hmm.
When will they come in?
Only when I open the door.
Correct.
Or
that will come.
So they're knocking the door.
Sorry,
But,
sir, you want to say something?
Or they are interested, so they are knocking in the door. Should I let them in and like get done, address them, and so that they will go away.
No, this opening the door happens without my knowledge.
Oh, okay. So in your case, so you open the door. Okay. Okay. So once you open the door and entertain, is it done, or there are other people knocking the door again?
When I come to know that I already opened the door, again I close, I will be in the present, again it happens.
Okay.
So that's the whole practice, Deepaji. The thing is, there's a tendency of the mind to bring up thoughts depending upon its impressions. And when you say without my knowledge,
Hmm.
in fact, that's a practice. In a way, you can call it as abhyasa. Okay.
Hmm.
So, as an example, somebody may say, without my knowledge, every day morning, I get an urge to drink coffee. Whether I like it or not, I get an urge. Correct. That may be correct right now. What you're calling as without my knowledge is nothing but something very subconscious that you're not able to see how it is happening. Right? However, now take the example of, let's say, you're for the very first time. Do you remember, when your child was given the food the very first time? Or do you remember something that you were eating for the very first time? Or you gone to a new place for the very first time? Or let's say you sat on a cycle for the very first time. Do you recall how aware and how everything felt new?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was in that present moment.
Correct. Because there's nothing that is already in the mind about that particular situation. Right? See, that is why many a times, Deepaji, when we are stuck in some situation, right? Many a times people say, why don't you just take a vacation? Why don't you just go somewhere? Or, many a times they would have been prompted. Why don't you go to this temple or this holy place? Because what happens is, the more you are in that same situation, you cannot think about it outside of that situation.
Yeah.
So you in a literal way, you move out. You move out. Right? Then
Yeah.
you are able to suddenly figure out few things. And it did not happen by accident, because you allowed your mind to settle down and you are able to see it from a new angle. You are able to suddenly see how to approach that particular situation. Is it not?
Yeah.
Exactly like that. That when you become addicted to coffee, you will say, oh, I don't even know. Without my knowledge only, I get the urge. People who smoke cigarette, they say, I don't know, I just cannot control. But I've heard those who have come out of that cigarette smoking habit also, who have become very deeply addicted to cigarettes. So, for example, my own Guruji Acharya Vinay Vinaykar, he used to smoke about 2 to 3 packs of cigarette every day, and he used to drink tea. That is how he used to work. Okay, 3 packs of cigarette. Then he decided one fine day, I'll give up. And he, see, in a way, you call someone an acharya because they don't simply teach by theory, but by their own experience, right? So he says, first of all, the sensation to smoke comes, right in the fingers. Okay, because this is where many people hold their cigarette. Okay, in the finger, then in the lip, then the mouth starts drying up. So then the mind starts triggering. I need. Just like you would have felt with the coffee addiction, coffee or tea. When you have been drinking coffee or tea, and if you've not had, mind starts becoming little numb. You feel little kind of a grogginess. All that happens, no?
Yeah, when anybody else is drinking the tea, I feel like drinking the tea.
Right? So now you can say, oh, without my knowledge, it is coming. Right?
Yeah.
It is not that it is coming without your knowledge. Because you've got addicted, you've done it so many times. First time you sat on the cycle, very aware. Next time, maybe, oh, I already know how to sit. Third time, now if you sit, you can even sing the song, leave your hand, be on the phone, but still be riding the cycle, no?
Yeah.
In a way, you will say, without my knowledge only, I drove all the way here.
Hmm.
But is it true that it is without your knowledge?
No, sir.
So just that
I-
what you have made it into an unconscious habit, you now have to overcome it through a conscious effort.
Hmm.
No two ways about it, right?
Yeah.
So your mind prompts those ideas that you have gathered, those impressions that you have gathered.
Hmm.
So just like how you gathered, now you simply sit, and when your mind drifts, it's okay. Forgive yourself. Come back once again. Continue that practice. Make a particular time of the day for your practice, a particular place your practice, and see if that place can be cleaned up, and keep whoever you have the most faith and trust and respect towards. It may be some form of God, or maybe your guru, whoever you feel, you keep them, you offer namaskarams to them, seek their guidance, wear some fresh clothes, sit. Over a period of time, you will see how this simple practice helps you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right. Who would like to share your view next? Shubhaji?
The very nature of self is pure bliss. So when I firmly get established in my own self, that is when I realize that I am limitless. So when I feel that when I am limitless, that is when I am blissful. That is what it says about here. The when I rejoice in my own self, that is what is reflected in the face, and that state is nothing but blissful. So it's literally focusing on realizing our own self. So salutations to Sri Dakshinamurthy. We also discussed in the first session about Dakshina definition of Dakshina, which is like south facing, right? So south facing is nothing but abode of Yama. So when I automatically realize that, or when I automatically know that the body is what is going through all these changes, and the death is only to the body, I realize that there is no fear in my life. So when there is no fear, it is pure bliss.
Excellent. Very nice. Thank you, Shubhaji.
Thank you, sir.
Padmaji, would you like to share? Are you there, Padmaji?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
My connection is a bit slow. I think there is a lag.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, sir. So, yeah, similar kind of views what others have shared. So, I think here the reference is to the infinite within us. When we realize the self, we are blissful, like what Shubhaji shared. It is the nature of who we are. It is the essence of who we are. So that is reflected on the face. So eyes are the, the reflection of the soul. So whatever emotions we experience also, I think it is very clearly visible on our faces. When we interact, we are able to decipher just by looking at a face, what that person might be going through. You might be speaking differently, but the face and the eyes give away what you are experiencing emotionally. But when, and that is coming because you are identified with the things that are changing and that are temporary. So when you have the face is shining with bliss, that means you have already separated yourself from what is going on. You are different from that drama that is happening in your life. So there is already a detachment there. So that is the reason why the face is blissful, because no matter what is going on in the external, I am established in the self, is what is reflecting on his face, I feel. Second is Dakshinamurthy, like Shubha shared, is facing the south. The south is representing of Yama, which is again of death, something that is changing, something that is not permanent. So only when you have the knowledge of what is permanent can you be fearless and face the changing and the death. So I think that is also reflecting here.
Excellent.
That's all.
Thank you, Padmaji. Satyaji, would you like to share your views?
Yes, Vijayji. So I feel that when we are looking at small things which give happiness for a moment, when we are looking at nature, when we are looking at a child, or these are moments where you experience happiness. So that is when your mind is silent for a while, and you just get connected to that real true self, your own self. So here Dakshinamurti, the face is said to be glowing or blissful. The reason being he is connected to his own self. So there is no disconnection. For us, or for me, I would say there is like a loose connection. Sometimes I feel blissful, sometimes I feel happy, but that is coming and going. But when the true self, the own self, is totally realized and there is nothing other than self, if I'm in such a state where there is nothing other than the self and I know it and I'm there already, obviously that is what reflects on my face. That is what reflects in my actions, my speech, my words, in my eyes. So that is where Dakshinamurti is. And I think we are praying him so that we get to that state. So as we are looking at a child, or as we are looking at Dakshinamurti, there is a complete solace in the mind. There are no waves in the mind. So that is the state where we don't try to achieve it, but that is the state which we are in. And that small realization, if it dawns upon us every moment, I think that is what we are.
Excellent. Thank you, Satyaji.
Thank you.
Shailaja ji, is there something that you would like to share on this?
Yes, sir. Actually, earlier I had an opinion that face is the index of mind. But then after joining these classes from Prabhuji, what I learned is face is the index of self. That's what I realized. And even many a times it happened that that whatever the feelings we have, we express it through our face, and even kids can make out and they ask, Amma, why you are so sad, or why you are happy, why am I wrong somewhere? Then why you are so sad? And even sometimes we show our when we are very strict with the kids also, they can make out. And always we can't be the same with them also. As per the situation, we may have to go according to that. That I feel. But after seeing the Dakshinamurthy face, that I feel what Prabhuji says is, I'm not the body, mind, and intellect. It definitely applies to that, and we need to have control over that. And we see us in everything around us. That's what I feel, sir. That's all I have.
Very nice. Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Ji,
yes, Saravanan
yeah,
sir.
I just want to comment on Shailaja's point that reflection face is a reflection of mind. She thought, but then realized it's not. But I feel in some way it's still there. In a sense, as long as mind is active, and like mind is always, the nature of mind is to always think or worry about past or future, then obviously that's what is showing up in the face. And for someone who has realized, basically the mind has gone silent or like has disappeared, and like when the mind is not active, and what shows up in the face is nothing but the Atmajyoti, right? The radiance of the self is like pure and brilliant, that shows up. So I still feel it is there is that connect. It's just that it's whether that mind is active or not.
Yeah, let's take a moment to reflect on that.
Hmm.
As long as one is identified with the content of their mind. What is mind? Mind is nothing but collection of thoughts. So someone who's identified with the collection of thoughts, I am that, I am this, I have to do that, I have to do this, this is the me, that is not me. That is what identification is all about. As long as one is identified with such me and mine, then the me and the mine, as it goes through various changes in life, I get a praise, me is happy. I get an insult, me is unhappy. So therefore, for such an individual, face is the index of the mind.
Right. Yeah.
It's a correct statement. The one who has gone above the mind, mind disappeared means what? It doesn't mean that there is no more thoughts. It just means that there is no more identification with the content of the mind. There is no more I am the content of my mind. I am only this or I am only that. Because there is a functional usage of the mind. Because it is only through the functional usage of your thought process that one functions in life. Whether it is Prabhuji or any other realized master. So, however, because there is no more identification with the content of the mind, the statement that now the face has become the index of the self. So, in a way, the transcendence of the mind is seen in the Mudita-Vadana, in the pleasant face. See, you yourself would have noticed. For example, when somebody is really tense or worried, the eyebrows become very tight. Their face also becomes very stiff. And especially if they are, talking about something very anger-oriented or, financial thing. Have you noticed, how tight their face is,
They're mindful.
because the mind is now bringing up all kinds of thoughts about, oh, you're losing, you're not going to gain, you're losing, the other one is winning. So all the tightness appears in the eyebrows, in the face, in the jaws, everywhere here. And when you're sleeping, notice when you're sleeping, whether it is a baby or even an adult, notice. When is an adult usually a very angry, upset, and kind of an adult? When are they most pleasant? When they are in deep sleep.
Mind is absent.
Now there is rest, no? But look at their face when they're resting. When they're resting. When they're in deep sleep. It's the same pleasant face. When someone is in deep sleep, that's why even the worst enemy said to be, very difficult to fight with. That is why the Ashwatthama's killing of the Upa-Pandavas when they were asleep is said to be a great sin. Because, when they're asleep, it is like, like a true baby. When they're asleep, you'll notice, how silent and how wonderful. Just notice when someone is in deep sleep. So, in a way, in deep sleep, if you notice, everything eases up.
Yeah.
So the face becomes
of the active state. Mind is controlling the body.
So the active state. And the Jnani or the Sadguru is one who has transcended that, okay, I am not the content of my mind. So therefore, even in the active state, there is no more all that up and down that happens. Because there is a clarity that I am not the content of the mind, but I need to use the content of the mind to be of some value in life. So therefore, there is no more worry, tension about what am I going to gain or what am I going to lose. Once when that equation is lost, that I'm going to gain something from life and I'm going to lose something in life, that is the fundamental equation which makes one feel tight.
Yeah.
So once when that equation is lost, then what is there? When you're playing a game, when you're playing a game, imagine, you're playing a game with a very small child. Notice you yourself, how happy you are, how pleasant you are. You're not thinking of one upmanship. Okay, so you're okay to lose a game with a small baby, right? And the baby asks you a question and you have a wrong answer and the baby laughs at you. You also smile. There is no problem. But the same question and slightly an adult asks and you are not able to answer, jitteriness. So it's all to do with our identification with who I think I am. So the more I am identified with I am somebody, then face is the index of the mind. And as I realize I am none of this, like how Shailajaji put, Nanu Nanenbudu Nanalla. Satchidananda Shiva Nanu Nane. That is Dakshinamurti. That Shiva is who I truly am. That Dakshinamurti is truly who I am. That is why he is Swa Atma Rama. Rama means the one who is rejoicing. In what? Swa Atma. In his own self. Because bliss is nowhere else.
Yep.
I think, Vijayji, it is all about we are so full. The mind is so full of past and future and thoughts. So basically, I would say our journey is from full-mindedness to mindfulness, awareness.
Yeah. And to realize that, that whatever we call as the mind, a collection of thoughts, is simply a appearance and disappearance. It's a play, it's a game. It comes and goes. Thoughts come and go. That's how you know about life. But none of the thoughts are permanent. However disastrous it may be. Or however tasty or wonderful they may be. None of the thoughts are permanent. You, the light that is shining on all these thoughts, only you are the permanent feature.
Just like you were saying previously, the mind, I mean, the thoughts knock and then we open the door, we allow them inside. In fact, the thought is not me. The mind which may be a physical form of brain or a subtle form like mind, even that is not me. Something comes into something which is not me. Why do I even bother? I mean,
Yeah.
let the thought come, let the thought go. It is like, some car is parked somewhere.
Yeah.
Why
I can
would
be I can watch
yeah, I can
the
just
thought
watch.
knocking
Yeah.
the door of mind, and I'm
Yeah,
not connected.
yes, whether that car is allowed there or it is parked in no parking, it is not parked. Why would I even bother? Let it
Just
come,
watch.
let it go. It is not me, not
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes, you may want to, you call something as, a car that needs to be, somebody has asked, okay, can you park it somewhere else? So you consciously know you are getting into the car and you're driving. So like that, one can consciously learn to use the thought, because
Yeah.
thought is a vehicle through which, you can be of some service in life.
Use the thoughts to the extent where you need to do something.
Correct.
And anyway, the thought disappears once that work is done. For example, we might have had a million good thoughts. We might have had a million bad thoughts. But ultimately, none of those thoughts are there now.
Correct.
Everything is gone. So the only thing which, the one which sees all this, the one which knows that all these things are happening, that is the me. And even now I am still the same. The child is still there in me. When I close my eyes, or even when I'm opening my eyes, I know that I am still the same. That the one who knows that everything is coming, going, changing, uh, increasing, decreasing, all these things, I think that is the one which I am, nothing else.
There's a funny story. Suddenly, as you are saying, no, it got triggered in my mind. When I was, in the middle school somewhere, I had a friend in my street called Ananda, and he used to beat me. And I used to be very afraid of him. Whenever I had to venture onto the street, I would first see if Ananda is there. If Ananda is there, my heart would start beating. And many a times, as I'm walking, no, I will not even look at him. And as I sense that he's coming towards me, I would start running. Okay. But now, after these many years, now that Ananda is no more there to bother me. But at that time, he used to bother me a lot. It's such a irony, no? Ananda bothering.
Yes, yes, Vijay. The more we give importance to a particular thought, um, so you may like something, not like raga dvesha. This is the way we are giving importance to a thought. So either you like it or you don't like it.
Yeah.
Liking also holds on to you, dislike also holds on to you.
Yeah.
The more you look at a thought as neutral, as okay, this is the thought I have right now, I need not stop it, I need not do something. But yeah, there are some thoughts which are actionable.
Yeah.
So actionable thoughts, do some action. Not actionable, it is not your work.
Yeah. Yeah, Sarunji. Good.
Yeah. So that brings two questions to me, and it has come to me many times. Where does it come from? Where does if I take one thought, where did it come from? And number two, thought, is it Chetana or Jada? Does it have the power to beat me? If we know that they are not, they are Jada. But Jada does then, like, it doesn't have, it is an object, then it cannot power, it does not have the power on me unless I give it. So like, does that mean like it is like someone that the thought which is lifeless, and I'm worried about that same thought, which means like I only hit myself with that thought.
let's frame the questions that way. People can participate. So the first question you have is, can you frame it? Maybe I can even.
Where does a particular thought come from?
Okay, so
Because, for example, Deepaji said, like, too many thoughts are coming. when I'm sitting.
Sharanji, 1 minute. Sorry. Okay, frame the first question.
Yeah, if I take one particular thought, where did it come from?
Thoughts and meat. Okay, so where did the thought come from? Okay, this is the first question. Okay, what
Yeah,
is the next
because
question?
I'm not getting a thought about something going on in Russia,
Yeah,
right? So there is, and if I'm getting something, there is something. It is. So why is that? Like, I'm not getting something from Russia, and I'm getting something, right? Second one is, does thought have? Is it Chetana or Jada? Is it right? Is it does it have the power to influence me or bother me? Inert or sentient? Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I think
These two questions.
yeah.
Okay, all right. So let's
Any thought one can take, right? Why does it come, and like where did it come from? And what is the relation between me and that thought? The sub questions of that first question.
let's listen to our Vedantins. So who would like to offer your view first?
Shall I go first, Jaiji?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my impression on, again, this is a thought. So where do thoughts come from? Just like our body is also inert. I mean, but our body has a power. Where does that power come from? It is the consciousness, like the power to do something or the power to not do something. All these are coming out of consciousness. So any thought rises and falls in the presence of consciousness. So thoughts don't have their own identity, or they are not something physical. They arise and drop. But who knows that there is a thought? Now Sharvananji knows there is a thought, that so it is empowered only by the consciousness. Now why do they arise? They arise because of all the samskaras, the vasanas that are already ingrained, which is the reason for our birth. Just like the reason for our birth is the previous vasanas, the reason for a thought also can be related to the previous vasanas which we have. So whatever we are doing today, maybe we are chasing a thought, and because of chasing a thought, we are doing something about it or not doing something about it. So all these are related to our own vasanas. So we have a deep vasana for spirituality. That is why we are in this class. So there was a thought that no, this is not my way of life. I should do something. That thought arose out of consciousness, but driven by vasanas. So that is what I would say, the reason for a thought to come. And the power to, does the thought have a power over me? Does it really bother me? That totally depends on the power of consciousness, the power that I give to a thought. Suppose there is a strong vasana or a desire to listen to Prabhuji's talks, or to change the way of my life, or to change the way I'm behaving outwardly, inwardly. That comes out of our vasanas. And that again is the power of consciousness. If the power of consciousness were not there, thoughts wouldn't have any power. So it is the power which the real I is giving to a thought.
So adding on to Satyalatha's point, only if you are attached to it, the Jivatma attaches to the thought, then it can bother it. Or else it's just a thought. It can, like Vijayji said, you can just use it. The consciousness just uses it for Loka Kalyana or something.
Deepaji, since you brought it, I would like to go back to you.
thought comes from the past, and yeah, it is due to vasanas itself. Then it is inert. I mean, it is jada. It bothers me because I am giving power to it. I just don't know how to just let the thoughts occur and disappear on its own, or witness the thought. That is the main thing which I'm not able to do. So that is bothering me. The meditation I do twice per day, in the morning as soon as I get up and at night before sleep. But it doesn't happen the way it should happen. I made it short just for about 5 to 7 minutes or so. But still I'm not able to be in the present, at least when meditating. So that's the reason I asked this question.
The thoughts that come to you, do they have any connection or relation to the work you did in that last 12 hours, or like they're like completely random?
Whatever has happened during the day, all such thoughts would be occurring. Sometimes even whatever has happened in the past, all those would be occurring. Sometimes it would be good thought itself. I would be running after it. But when I come to know the meditation is not happening properly, I come back to it again, try to focus on the self. But again, don't know, without my knowledge, as I said, it goes behind it. I mean, the thought. Coming back to the self happens several times during meditation. Just for about 5 to 7 minutes, I do it. But this happens, this keeps on occurring so many times.
So yeah. So should one analyze the nature of the thoughts, or like in which case like there can be a wide nature of thoughts, or come up with a overall like come up with a solution that has got nothing to do with the type of thoughts, and address them for once?
Now, how to witness the thoughts, like
Yeah.
Satyaji said,
Hmm.
just let it go, let it occur and let it go on its own. How to witness that? Is there any method to do it?
Because in some ways, see, this is when you don't when you consciously don't want the thought, then thought becomes the bothering one. But if you see, or like the way I can see it is, the whole day I am doing all the actions driven by thoughts. And if the thoughts are not there, I don't think the actions will happen. So sometimes I feel like the nature sends puts the seed of the thought for the action to happen. It's not that like I am bringing up a thought. I cannot produce a thought. It just happens, and a thought drives the action and comes out. Right? And that way, I feel like the seed of the thought was from the nature for action to be happen through this body, and it got completed, done. Right? The most of the day it goes like that, and like I'm not worried about at the time. But as you said, when you want to sit and close and like, now I don't want any thoughts to come. Magically, it's like living two different lives. right? Non-meditation time, let everything driven by thoughts. Yeah, fine. I don't have a problem. Meditation time, like, please stop.
So,
Yeah.
Sarvanji, sorry for interrupting.
Yeah.
I think you are answering the origin or from where the thoughts are coming. Deepaji's question is very clear. He wants to know how I can watch the thoughts, how I can be a witness. That is her question.
No, that is the
Uh,
second part, right? When the thought is
I
whether to entertain or like just watch, right?
I
But
wanted to.
So
Yeah.
that's why she's asking how to
Mm, mm.
watch. She's unable to watch. That is what she's saying. Okay. So let's take this separately. Let's not mix up the.
So no, but because
Okay,
okay.
if I
Because
can
once the
tell a
thought
few.
has come, naturally the next question is to address the thought, give them
Correct.
food.
That is for you. For her, she's unable to do it. That is what she's saying. All right. Let's listen to what Ashwini ji has to say.
No, just wanted to tell Deepaji one thing, one point how we can do that is if you look at a higher thought, then you can concentrate on one particular higher thought, that time all the other thoughts will subside. So if you have a higher goal and you think about, you focus on that, that is one of the ways in which you so if you have a higher goal and you have one single pointedness on that, then all the other thoughts will reduce. So slowly with practice, then other thoughts also will reduce. So just wanted to-
Wow.
Okay, so while we are contemplating like this, Deepaji, you will hear ideas. So see what is that that resonates with you.
Okay.
So let's get back to what Sarvanji was saying.
Yeah. No, the reason I'm coming to that first question is I sometimes feel, yeah, it can be two sources. One is from the deep vasanas, as Satyaji said, maybe like many lifetimes. Or the other one is more latent, very related to what I'm doing. Like, for example, if I keep watching news and like meeting a lot of people, then I feel then that is the food, and that is all those activities put their seeds, and then like when all those people disappear or all that scene disappears, then all those things come up. Okay, oh, this is what the breaking news was, this, that, oh, this activity I did. So sometimes I feel it is what I go after, they come after me later on. And if I reduce that, just I stop watching news. And like when I go to office, I see people are all, there is a lot of discussion going on, this and that. I tell them, oh, is it? Okay, I didn't know until you guys told me. Okay, so then I think that, okay, so since I didn't see it, maybe those that didn't bring up those thoughts, and so I was not worried. Right, same way the activity, right? If I'm doing too many things in two different directions, I think they put the seeds again, and that's what again come up as thoughts later on when I try to sit quietly. So I feel like there are two sources, which is what I'm going after. One is the unfulfilled, or the ones that deeply impacted me in the past, whether in a happy way or in an unhappy way. I need and when such things come, should I attend to them and say, okay, I acknowledge you and thank you. Let them Should I let them go? Otherwise, I feel like they will keep coming. Okay, number one. Number two is like reducing this activity and involvement. Does it bring down the thoughts? That has been my thought after the thoughts. Trying to figure out and control them.
Saranji, so are you providing an answer to Deepaji's question, or are you contemplating on these three questions that I've raised?
So I just shared my thought behind that first question.
Okay, where did the thought come from?
Because I'm also dealing with it. It's
Sure.
just that Deepaji asked today, but I also deal with often. Yeah.
May I share?
Yes, please.
So I concur with what Satyaji and Ashwiniji said. So thoughts are it's coming from, it's a projection of your mind. It's coming from the vasanas and the emotions and the desires that are there within us. It can be anything, but I feel that's from where they are coming up. Okay. And for any thought to be continuous in your, if it's coming continuously, then raga and dvesha is the reason which is making it continue. Okay. So it doesn't matter whether it is a good thought or a bad thought, because they can be anything. Thoughts can be positive, negative, or it can also be neutral. Okay. But what you are associating with, see, the general, and these thoughts, they are also what is giving us one identity, right? One identity, and we get attached to that. Suppose I like sari and a thought is about saris, different kinds of saris. Okay. I am not going to say that, I don't like this, so I don't want this thought. Okay. I am very specific and probably biased because of my raga and dvesha that I like the sari thought, but maybe I don't like a thought where somebody is beating me. Okay. Or there is violence in it. Because I don't like violence. But the sari thought is okay because I love saris. Okay. So that is what is the problem there. It is not that thoughts are bad. They are just coming and going. And what, like you said, thoughts are also important because there are certain thoughts that are getting translated into action. If there is no thought, there will be no action. Correct? But what is the thought that you are catching, holding on to? That is the important thing there. Okay. So that is what is leading to action. That is one aspect. Now, where the thoughts are coming from, that we have understood to a certain extent. So now, how can you reduce that thought? It is of course inert. It is jada. Okay. Can it really bother me? What thought I give importance to, it is going to lead into an action. Okay. But if I am entertaining a thought which is not going to lead into any action, then it is again going to lead me to something else. Okay. So either it can be, I say, suppose I am entertaining some negative thought. So it has a tendency to build upon it. So you think of what kind of thoughts you think, it is going to affect in your body, it is going to affect your emotions, and then it is also going to come out in the external.
Yeah.
Okay.
Resulting in
So basically, your thoughts are actually creating your experiences, your perceptions of the world, and it is also creating an identity. Okay. So it is basically inflating your ego. It is coming from the ego. Self doesn't have to get involved in all this at all, right? So now when I come to this question, how to watch the thoughts, and also Deepaji's question, in meditation, how do I do that? So one of the answers Ashwiniji gave, which I also used to practice rather in the beginning stages. Another thing which a beginner in meditation can do, or if you are struggling with meditation, is like she said about a higher thought. If the thought is not possible for you, if you find that to be difficult, then you can actually start with meditating on a form. So you can pick up any form of any deity that you like or you prefer to pray on a regular basis. So you can have that form. When the mind is focused on that form, then the other thoughts are minimized. Again, that also it might lead to thought. I'm not saying it's still thoughtless, but like Ashwini ji said, it will be a higher thought. It will be a thought about that God. Oh, how beautiful he is, or how divine he is. I wish I could be like him. That kind of thoughts will be there, rather than any random thought. So that is one way to progress in meditation. However, I feel that, okay, one more thing that Deepaji mentioned is something that is that I would like to address is, you say I meditate twice a day, but it doesn't happen the way it should happen. When you are not able to meditate, something that you're concluding, what is the basis for you to say that it is not happening the way it should happen? That means you think or you have a thought that this is how my meditation should be. Whereas meditation is a state where there is nothing, isn't it? It is going to nothingness. So how come you are concluding? See, you have a perception based on what you hear from people. Say, I share my meditation experience, or say Vijay sir is sharing. So you are wanting to get to that, or you have a thought that why I am not experiencing that. So that is where you have kept that bar. You have a set goal that my meditation should be like that. So any day it will not be what you want it to be, isn't it? Because it is not your experience, it is someone else's experience. How can you reach that? It is never going to be possible. So the only thing we can do is, the journey is always within me. It is only about me. There is no one else. I think the more you say that to yourself, you are only there, no? See, the crux of Vedanta is there is no one here except you, isn't it? You are Brahman. Only Brahman exists. That means only you are there. But our perceptions, this thing is all based on, okay, this person has this experience, so I want this. See, in one of the things, Ashwini shared about her experience about how she felt at Isha. Okay, now I have never been to Isha, but tomorrow when I step into Isha, at the moment I step into the gate, I already know it's in my memory, what Ashwini ji shared. But if I bring that into picture and I step into Dhyana Lingam, will I be truly able to meditate or experience what I am supposed to experience? No. I am looking for an experience that somebody else has shared. And that's not going to happen. Your experience can never be the same because you are not the same. Same thing, she only shared another story that next time she visited, she didn't have the same experience, probably because she was expecting it. So when you are in present moment, you never are going to relate it to any past or any future that you have experienced or you want to experience. So the first time that she had the experience, there was no, she didn't know, like sir said in the morning, you don't know what that term means at all. It is some gibberish that you are hearing. So you don't have any perception about it. Your mind has not got a meaning to it. So you experience truly what was there for you. However, if you know what is dhyana, what is this, what is that, then your mind is bringing all that into picture when it is viewing something. When the sense organs are giving the inputs, it is coloring however it wants to color. And I feel that meditation is something, again, it's a practice. It cannot happen in one day. If I have to go by my personal experience, today I can sit and meditate for 45 minutes continuously. But when I began, even closing my eyes was so difficult for me. I had a fear of closing my eyes and going into the dark. So if I see the irony of it, look at it, like you have to go within to reach the self. And here you are even scared to close that window, which is closing you to the external. That itself was fearful. So at that point, that was a thought for me. I used to think I can never meditate because when I'm not able to close my eyes, then where are the next steps even? The first step itself is, in any meditation video of any guru you hear, the first step is close your eyes. If you're not able to do that, you're not able to get to the A, where is the point of getting to anywhere else? But see, but you want to. There is a desire within you that I want to meditate. So that thought was good only, no, because it kept me, it kept me to persevere in that path. I did not let go of it just because I couldn't close my eyes. So what happens when you close your eyes? Let's see. So it started with 2 minutes, 2 minutes timer, 3 minutes timer. Like that, slowly I did it. And of course, in the beginning, there were multiple thoughts, especially if you are cooking and all that, and you have another thing to be followed, obviously those thoughts are coming. Oh, I'm sitting here, I have to still cook. My child is going to come from school. All this, multiple things are running. Okay. But when that thought comes, you just say, okay, yes, it has to be done. Right now, this is what. Right now, this is what. You keep doing that. You keep saying that. And for me also, after the form, there was something like chants also helped me. I would not meditate without any chanting. So if I have to chant, then I am focused on that, on my breath, on my chant, like that. Various options you can always use. What works for you is very different from what worked for me. But it is just a practice. So with practice, you will get there. There will be a day when you can say that I meditate for so long. But it is for you to experience. You cannot relate it with anyone else. Because that is like trying to achieve an inachievable, goal. So this is what I think, sir. Raga, Dvesha and the desires. So like Saravanan-ji said, there are some things which we can do to curtail the thoughts itself in general, like watching news and other things, because I think in today's lifestyle that we are leading, lot of inputs are coming to the mind from various sources. So to put a stop to certain things would actually help us. I think one of the things that I and my husband consciously have done is, we don't have a TV in our house. We have a TV, but there is nothing it plays. So I feel that has been a wonderful thing for my son Aditya. Okay, if he has to go into the outer world and converse with kids, they might think he's a fool, because I don't think he has watched any movie, whether it is English, whether it is Hindi, whether it is Tamil. He doesn't know any hero, any heroine, all this he doesn't know. Okay. But I also feel he has not got, because of that, he's not have some fancy ideas of what romance should be, what this should be, what that should be. Those things are not formed by looking at something, which is somebody's doing for earning some money. But for your child, it can become their perception for life. They can form their personality based on this. So we were very conscious about what we show him. So he has watched, even now he watches only these things like cartoon movies and all that, and maybe some, now he's into Marvel and all those things, which is like, okay, good over evil. That is still okay. But I don't see any sense in him seeing the so-called masala things that we see in all any language. So he doesn't see that, and because he's not exposed to that, he doesn't crave that. Okay, so that is a big lesson for us also, isn't it? Like, because he was not exposed to it, he doesn't have any preference. He doesn't say, I don't like it also. So that is one big, I feel we have been able to give him. How he sees it is something we will know only when we question him. But I'm definitely sure that he doesn't have those kind of perceptions already put into his mind. Like, this is how one should be. This is how one should be. So because of him, I think we also don't see TV. So unnecessary things are not there like that. Yeah. So yes, but the relevant things we have, of course, because you don't watch TV, if you don't know who is the Prime Minister of India, that's also not good. So those kind of information, of course, there is a means to collect that. So that is all there, but the unnecessary things we don't do. And one other experience that I want to share is, I think it was during the Tattva Bodha that I had asked sir this question: if I am creating the world, that's the first time you hear in Tattva Bodha that you are the creator of the world. And I remember I asked sir, does that mean I created this corona? That time it was corona. And yeah, the answers to those questions were there. And see, so that like that, I think we start getting clarity slowly only. So today, after so many years of this Tattva Bodha study only, we are getting clarity. I think same is with everything. The practice is what is making the scriptural study go deep within you. Otherwise, I think studying many scriptures, you can do it again and again, isn't it? Many people might be studying scripture, but they may not be applying it. Only when you apply, when the practice is there, then only there will be change. Yes, thank you.
Two Purva Pakshis were there. One is Sarvanji and then Deepaji. So whatever the views that have been shared so far, we are yet to hear others. So Deepaji, is any of it valuable that you feel you are able to resonate with?
Yeah, Vijayji. Like Ashwini said, I should focus on the higher goal. That is fine. And what Padmaji said, like I should not think of others' experience. I have something in mind, so that's the reason. Maybe I'm not able to achieve what I want to. My thought about the meditation is that my mind should go. Maybe that takes some time.
Please say that again. My thought is that my mind should
go nil. It should not have any thought.
Absent.
not have any thoughts. Okay, all right.
Absence of mind.
So I
think
just
let her complete. Let her complete. Yeah, Deepaji.
So this is the thought about the meditation that I have. That is not happening. Either will it be in the past or no, it doesn't go to the future. Only it will be in the past.
Okay. And the state of no thought, how are you imagining it to be?
Like the blissfulness, I feel it will be when there are no thoughts in the mind.
Okay, all right. So now you are seeking that no thoughts because you feel that you will be blissful.
Yes.
Okay, so I can also say that you want to be blissful, so therefore you are seeking a no mind.
Yeah. I'm not the mind. We say this, I'm not the mind, isn't it? So when I try to relate to this thought, I felt when there aren't any thoughts in the mind, that is meditation.
And I will be blissful only then. That is also another logic you have created.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. What do you feel about your deep sleep? Do you have your mind?
Yeah, when I'm in dream, the
No, I'm
mind.
asking about your deep sleep.
Deep sleep, there's no mind.
There is no mind. Okay. Now, do you have any particular recollection of that? How do you experience it?
When I get up in the morning, I feel good. When I had a deep sleep.
Okay. then
In
you're
that-
seeking something closer even during waking time,
Yeah, at least during meditation.
at least during meditation. That's what you are seeking. Okay.
Yes.
Was it Padma ji or who wanted to say something?
Sir, in one of the meditation class, initially when I was a child, the one thing the person told me is, if it is, they asked us who all got thoughts. Some of them raised their hands and some of them they said no thoughts. When they asked who are the ones who had no thoughts, I did raise my hand. That is when she said, then I think you went off to sleep. Is that how it is?
Okay, you're asking the question. I thought you were going to clarify something. Okay, all
No,
right.
no. My understanding was when there are no thoughts,
Hmm.
I feel that you are in a deep sleep state. That is not your real state.
That is not your real state.
Yeah.
And when you say that is not your real state, can you clarify what you mean by that?
See, thoughts are natural. As Padmaji correctly said, thoughts do come and go.
Hmm.
But it is how you okay. I think I would like to get a clarification on this also, that if it is no thoughts, is it not in your sleep state?
If it, okay, so the question you are raising is, if
Okay.
it is no thoughts, if no thoughts, is it sleep? Right?
Yeah.
That's the question you are raising.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all right, excellent. Great.
So, I had attended Art of Living course, sir, the
Hmm.
basic course.
Hmm.
Um, at that time, they asked us to meditate in a certain way, and we meditated.
Hmm.
I even felt that I must have gone to sleep.
Hmm.
That's the reason I had no thought.
Hmm.
Like Shubhaji said,
Hmm.
I felt like I must have gone in sleep. I really don't know if it was really the meditation or I went to sleep.
You went to sleep. Okay, you're not very sure. Okay, all right. Who
have
else?
a question to Deepaji. So, can I know which course was it in
Art of Living.
No, did you
Art
do
of,
the Sudarshan Kriya?
yeah, Sudarshan Kriya, the basic course.
So you have learned the Sudarshan Kriya, am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you did not go to sleep because I have also learned it.
Okay.
See, in that you don't directly start meditating, isn't it? There is a process, and then you close your eyes, isn't it?
Yeah, they say the Soham and we meditate like.
So by the time you get to Soham, you have done couple of breath works and all that, which is leading to the Soham, and then you close your eyes, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So you were not sleeping. You actually experienced meditation that day. Because
Okay.
see, one of the thing about the Sudarshan Kriya is that because of what you do before that is where it takes you to that state.
Mhm.
Okay, so if you have learned it, then I think you should practice that every day, because it is also going to give a lot of help in your health issues.
Okay.
If you know that, you don't need to meditate separately. You just do the Sudarshan Kriya every day. Yeah, that's enough. You remember it, right?
It was about 15 years ago.
So maybe take a refresher or something, but that is the easiest way I feel to heal your body also.
Okay.
Because I have personally found a lot of benefits from that.
Okay.
After doing that is when I was able to close my eyes. Yeah. So it is very transformational. You can do that every day, Deepaji, if you have learned that.
Okay, Varma.
And before, I was the one who interrupted when you were speaking. So when you made a statement saying that in my mind I feel that, or I can't clearly remember the statement exactly as you said. Maybe you can help me, or maybe sir. My mind, in my mind. Yes, Saravanan, you remember it?
So I just want to ask, right?
Ah.
So looks like though she says like I feel more than meditation, I think Deepaji is looking for some experience. So though she got doing that with Sudarshan Kriya, she's still looking for some experience now.
Yeah, maybe
If it worked, okay, maybe like she would have continued, right? And maybe there is this, though there was the absence, but like maybe now the mind wants to know, no, I didn't experience it, like that bliss. I didn't experience the bliss. Is it Deepaji? Is that the thing?
Yeah, I was in doubt whether I went to
Yeah.
sleep or
Yeah. So maybe then it's more about the jnana, the knowledge behind what is bliss. I think then because if we don't know what we are seeking, then like even if it is there, then we may not be admitting that we are having it.
Yeah, so the question here to ask is, okay, who is the one who's supposed to admit that I had bliss? Or who is the one that is saying I don't have bliss? Who is the one that says that I couldn't meditate? That's not you, isn't it? So one thing that can help you is also that to question, who is this who is saying that I need this experience, or I need that experience, or I was not blissful? Your true self is bliss, isn't it?
yeah,
So
yeah.
where is the question of you not having that? You are that. And who is this one who is having the doubt? It's definitely not you. The one who has the doubt is separate from you. So if you keep asking that question, who is this? Who is this that is having the doubt? Who is this that is saying this? Who is this that is saying that? Then you will slowly go to the answer. Or rather, you will eliminate the questions. You will eliminate what is not needed.
Does Shailaji have anything to add to the discussion?
So, I don't have any questions on this, but I am listening to this. Very interesting, sir, to know this.
Very interesting conversation. Okay.
Yes.
Very nice. Okay. All right.
Also, Vijayji, I wanted to add that I think for beginners, directly going to who am I may be difficult, in which case it will be useful, like Padmaji said, to do some beginning like breathing practices or some other kind of meditation practices like that Sudarshan Kriya, what Deepaji was doing. And also that would be very helpful to do that. And also I think Guruji has some practices. There's one which I do daily. There is I don't know where the video for it is. I don't know if there is a playlist of practices which Guruji has taught, or maybe we should ask Gayatri ji. The one which I do is it has Bastrika in it and other breathing practices in it. So that actually raises the energy level, and you go to a state where your mind becomes thoughtless. So before going to who am I, it is actually very helpful to go through these breathing practices, come to a state when where your mind is calm. So that we will have to check. I don't know if any, I don't know where the where the link for these things are. So
Okay.
I will check with Gayatri ji and get back.
Deepa ji, is my screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you recollect this? Can you please read it out?
Yeah. The regulation of breath.
Do you want to chant it first? Do you remember how to chant?
Okay. Pranayamam pratyaharam nitya viveka vicharam japya sameta samadhi vidanam purva vadhanam mahad avadanam. The regulation of breath, the withdrawal of the senses from their respective objects, the inquiry consisting in the discrimination between the eternal and the non-eternal, the method of mind control associated with the muttering of mantras, perform these with great care.
Okay, from this, what is the inference you are getting?
We can use the breathing techniques during meditation. Then with asking who am I would help. That is the withdrawal of the senses. The inquiry consisting in the discrimination between the eternal and the non-eternal. Discriminating myself from everything else. The method of mind control associated with the muttering of mantras. Like Brahmasmi, chanting that mantra. Perform these with great care. All these would help me in meditation.
Is there a particular sequence you need to follow? Is there an order? Is one better over the other?
No.
No?
Any one of these, I think, would help me.
So if any one of these could help you, then maybe whatever let's say the kriya that you learned should have helped you.
I didn't practice it after that, sir. After the course,
How long
I
do you
didn't.
think you should have practiced for it to have helped you?
I actually didn't believe in it. That's the reason I didn't practice it at all.
Okay, but according to you, now that you are coming to recognize that it could have helped, what do you think? How much practice you should do to help? Is it
Only
1
when
week,
I
1 month, 1 year, 2 year, 12 year,
no,
4
sir.
year?
Only
Yeah.
when I practice it, it may take some time, and then I may come to know.
Okay. So in terms of cooking, how long it took for you to learn cooking?
About 3 months or so.
Okay. And how old were you when you started learning?
27 years.
Okay.
28.
You started learning when you were 28 years.
Yeah.
And in about 3 months, you learned.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say you have completed learning? Or would you say that, I still have more to learn?
I have learned, but any new dishes, I watch in the internet and I'll do it, sir.
Okay. So there is still something to learn, but now you are comfortable with the overall idea called cooking, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you started learning when you were 28, but was it that, within 3 months you were making dishes which were really tasty, nice, and everybody were applauding?
No, sir.
How long it took?
It took about 2 years or so to have a grip on it.
To have a grip on it. right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, using that simple experience that you already have
Yeah.
to apply it to meditation, what do you infer?
If I start now, at least with the Sudarshan Kriya, it may take a few years to have a grip on it.
So first of all, see, the time it may take is not really known. Okay.
Yeah.
Why it is not known?
Because of our vasanas, it depends on the person, and even the gunas matter.
So that's why, there is an example of, let's say you want to light fire to wood.
Hmm.
If the wood is wet versus if the wood is dry. If the wood is dry, how long will it take for it to catch fire?
It doesn't take much time.
But if the wood is wet, how long will it take?
It will take quite a long time.
So therefore, no one really knows an answer to how long it will take.
Yes, sir.
But what is that Sri Shankaracharya is saying here through this shloka to you and me?
That we have to perform these with great care.
Which ones?
The meditation. Whatever methods we are opting have to be performed with great care.
Excellent. So first is to trust in something and to start it with great faith and care.
Yes, sir.
That is the first step.
Hmm.
Now, which technique? That is really not the question here.
Hmm.
But what fundamentally Shankaracharya ji is showing, that there is pranayama, which is the regulation of breath. So in a way, Sudarshana Kriya also has pranayama.
Yeah.
Pratyahara, where you are actively, consciously taking your senses out of what are the objects that they are interested in. Okay. But the most important thing is, at the end of the day, any of these practices, right? Any of the, let's say, pranayama or japa or any withdrawal of senses, they will not give you permanent answer. The permanent answer is what Padmaji said. See, you will have to keep writing exam as long as there are questions. But what if you eliminate the question paper itself?
Yes, sir.
So the elimination of the question paper is the jnana. So like that, these are to be performed in a way together. But in order to apply the jnana, certain preparation in the mind where the mind is tranquil enough will definitely help. So towards that, any of the practices. See, so far we spoke a lot about meditation. There were views expressed where one has to do meditation. What does it mean to do meditation? What is the fundamental idea of meditation? What is meditation? What is dhyana? There are several interpretations, there are several viewpoints, several practices, several experiences. What is that meditation is truly about? And Ramana Maharshi also says in Upadeshasaram, among all the other practices, he places puja at the bottom, japa in the middle, meditation in the top, and he also says meditation you do as if like the oil flowing continuously. I'm struggling here to sit for 7 minutes, and Ramana Maharshi is saying, do it continuously. Oh, game is already lost, right? So then, how can I be 24 hours in no thoughts? No thought should occur. 24 hours, no thought should occur. Because that if the goal of the meditation is zero thoughts, 24 hours, zero thoughts. Or if I put it in a very crude and rude way, like your deep sleep, a vegetable state, good for nothing.
Huh.
You see where this logic is leading us to?
Yes, sir.
Because one of the idea that, zero thought is coming from the definition called samadhi in yoga. Samadhi means zero thoughts. Have you entered samadhi? That is the ultimate of yoga. Okay. That's why to bring clarity to that concept, there's a wonderful story that Prabhuji always says. You might have heard. So there was this yogi who used to go into this meditative or the samadhi state quite often. One day he was sitting closer to his hut, and his hut was closer to a river, and he went into deep samadhi. Okay. And before going into deep samadhi, he asked one of his shishya, get me some water. And he went into deep samadhi, and unfortunately what happened, there was also a flood. For many days, nobody could come to him, and the flood receded, and after some 6 or 7 days, and they come, and thankfully nothing had happened to him, and slowly he opened his eyes. What is the first sentence that comes out of his mouth?
Water.
Where is my water? So what is the story telling you? What is the like in a children's session, no, they all tell the story, and immediately the child asks, what is the moral of the story? What is that you are inferring from the story? What is the story telling you?
You come out of meditation, all the
No,
thoughts.
let Deepaji tell. Let
okay.
Deepaji tell what she learned. Because that story has connection to all the questions that we are discussing today. Where did the thought come from? Is it inert or sentient? How to watch the thoughts? If no thoughts, is it sleep? In a way, everything is encapsulated in the story. But I want to hear what you are inferring from that story.
He doesn't know that all this has occurred.
He doesn't know?
That all this has occurred. I mean, the flood has occurred, and he has come out of his samadhi after so many days.
Okay. So he doesn't know. He doesn't know what has happened.
But
But
so he raised the question, where is my water?
Where is my water? Why did that thought only come to his lips? Why did that thought come to his lips?
Since he wanted water before going back to samadhi.
Excellent. So there was zero thoughts, right? For many days he was in deep samadhi.
Yeah.
But did it remove his thirst?
No.
Did it help him? Did it help him? You think?
No, sir.
Why has it not helped him?
Because he was thirsty long back. He's getting the water after so many days.
So he's still thirsty, right? Thirst hasn't gone away.
Yeah.
Also, something more fundamental has not gone away. What do you think it is? Do you think after the samadhi experience, he is all set? He is like what Ramana Maharshi is saying now, 24 hours. he can be in peace, in bliss? Or do you think he will have to still go and again sit in meditation practice?
His vasanas have not gone away.
So does such a samadhi truly then help?
No.
What is that then one has to get rid of if it has to really help?
The vasanas itself.
How do you get rid of the vasana?
Sir, I'm trying with so many things, sir. I have turned vegetarian. Then I was addicted to tea. I stopped drinking tea or coffee. So many things, but I mean, I read somewhere, a few people told me, and that's how just got rid of them. But I am, I don't think my vasanas have gone away.
Have gone. Okay.
No,
So
no, I
No?
don't think, I don't think they have gone.
okay. But have you noticed any benefit after you started these practices? Have you noticed any benefit?
Yeah, one
What
is,
benefit have you noticed?
I always think of positive, try to think of positive. Then I try to be very patient with anyone.
Hmm.
Then I used to have fights with my husband earlier. That
Hmm.
have reduced.
Hmm. So there has been some value of these practices to your life, correct?
Yeah,
Okay, excellent. So now, in order to fully help yourself, you are now looking for that experience in the meditation. That's what you're seeking, because you want to be now 24-hour blissful.
yeah.
Is it a good desire or a bad desire?
Good desire itself.
It's a good desire. Okay. So the question is only then how to do it.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll show you some picture and I would like to hear your interpretation of that, right? And then we can potentially end for today after that, right? Just a moment, please. Okay, so what are you noticing in this picture, Deepaji?
Just a minute. It is a wakefulness state.
No, what are you currently noticing in this picture?
The Atmajyoti, the consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a picture tree in it.
Yeah.
Maybe the mind is thinking about the tree.
Okay. See, okay, it's like this. The tree is like our various thoughts. Okay.
Okay.
So they're so deep-rooted, no? And they're so multi-branched, no?
Yes.
Because one leads to another and it's all everywhere, correct?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, by your thinking, what is that you're seeking? You're looking for some kind of output, no, from it.
Yeah.
And when you have to get a fruit, you have to act, and behind that there is a desire, no?
Yeah.
And that is what the top of the tree is representing, correct?
Yes.
So imagine, you want a mango, so you will put a mango seed, and that becomes a tree, and then you're going to get mangoes, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, for example, how do you free yourself from the desire for the fruit? Because it is the desire for the fruit that is making you do things, correct?
Yes, sir.
So how do you become free from the desire for the fruit?
By practicing the Bhagavad Gita shloka, which says, do anything without expecting the result.
Excellent. Correct. No. So when you perform any of your action selflessly, right?
Yeah.
And that is what Ramana Maharshi also says. Do your actions as a selfless offering. Whatever action you are performing, do it as a selfless offering. Through that, what is happening? Your attachment to fruits are coming down. And that is what you are noticing. When you have you are more peaceful, there is less agitation. When you are practicing all this, it's all helping you, correct? Okay. But the next question for you, Deepaji, is this is giving up the fruits is like surface of the tree. Okay. Has it gotten rid of the root of the tree?
No.
What is the root of the tree called this entire cycle of this karma or this thinking process? What is at the root of the tree?
Vasana.
Is actually your fundamental ignorance or misunderstanding about who I think I am, about who I am, about who you are, which is what is leading to a sense of incompleteness. So the lack of clarity about who I am and what is this world is what is leading to a sense of, okay, I need to get somewhere else because I don't know my true nature. I don't know the true nature of the world. So as long as that ignorance, that misunderstanding, that lack of clarity about who I am truly, what this world is truly, as long as that ignorance is there, that will continue to lead to this cycle. So I have to sit and do pranayama. Then only I become peaceful. Like that yogi in that story, I have to enter samadhi. But samadhi is like a vegetable state, no thoughts, fine. But he comes back, again the cycle continues. Oh, I have to now again sit and do meditation. So is there ever an end to this?
No.
Then what is the true way by which I can come out of this cycle?
By selflessly doing the meditation without expecting the result.
But that is still some doing, no?
Yeah.
That doing is still going to be continue, no? I have to sit and do meditation. Again, I'm not saying that you should not meditate. That is not what is being said. But for the time being, that's why the question is, when will I really come out of this cycle?
By eliminating the desire.
But how can you eliminate the desire? What is leading to the desire? What is leading to the desire? If you see here.
The ignorance.
Of ignorance of
Who I am. In this body and this mind. And intellect is what is causing all this.
So that is the only true way out of this. That it is only jnana that can burn this entire cycle. So it doesn't mean that you should stop meditating. That's why Adi Shankaracharya said, pranayama pratyahara nitya anitya viveka vichara. So when you keep doing this, it will naturally bring you to the state that Ramana Maharshi, Prabhuji all speak about, which is Sahaja Samadhi. See,
Hmm.
the meditative samadhi or the yogic samadhi is you have to do some practice, breathing or some energy transformation, whatever, right? It's a samadhi that, there's an effort. But sahaja samadhi is no effort. Sahaja. Naturally, it is arising.
Hmm.
That samadhi, that is your realization of your true nature.
But
Uh,
these techniques can be followed, isn't it, sir? In the beginning.
Absolutely. That's why I'm using these in relationship. That pranayama, pratyahara, nitya viveka vichara. It doesn't mean that you should give up pranayama or the practice of meditation. Do it, but do it with understanding. Because whatever you do and get is never going to be complete. But it helps you. It helps you. Not at all to say it is not helpful. But whatever you do, if you say, I am doing meditation and I'm being peaceful, then it is not going to be permanent. I am doing pranayama, I'm feeling energetic, then it is not going to be permanent. It does help. Yeah, so from there, that is why Shankaracharya is giving you pranayama, pratyahara, nitya viveka vichara. He's saying not to simply keep meditating or simply to keep doing the pranayama. You have to integrate jnana into it, because it's only ultimately jnana, because the ignorance cannot be removed by any practice. If the meditation could have removed the ignorance in that story, that yogi should have come out as a jnani. Should have come out as okay, I'm now free from all suffering, like Buddha's ultimate realization. Is this bringing clarity, Deepaji?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
I just want to summarize my understanding. So the idea is not going into meditation as meditation and coming out, rather being in that state always while doing all the other work.
Yeah,
correct.
while doing any work, I do it with concentration. I'll be fully into it. Is that the meditative state?
See, whenever you are doing something, and if there is no disagreement in your mind,
Yoga.
okay, it is with the whatever the change that is happening, okay, where there is no agitation or irritation, no turbulence appearing in you. It must be a very peaceful way of being, no?
Yes, sir.
Then if you want to label it as meditation, why not?
Yeah.
Because meditation is a label you're attaching to a certain feeling.
Feeling, correct.
I am very peaceful. Oh, it is like I'm meditating. So be it. You're peaceful when you are with the plants. When you're looking after plants, are you not peaceful?
Yes.
When you're playing with your daughter, are you not peaceful?
Yes, sir.
When you are, for example, simply watching sunrise, many a times you must have experienced, are you not peaceful?
Vijay, I
Do
remember
anything?
Prabhuji's one talk on this tea meditation, where he said, like, incorporate the meditation in every activity. One should be able to incorporate it in every activity, so that like you don't have to stop something and, like, as you are saying, go and sit eyes closed and where you are trying to be in a samadhi, vegetative state, right? In a tea meditation, like, you are into it, you are aware of it, like, I am putting this water, I am putting the powder, and Right? So, like being with it completely, one with it. That
During activity, the agitation may come because of the identity. If somebody is coming and saying, Deepa, you are wrong. Deepa, you are dumb. Something like that, when it comes up during an activity, it may cause anger, irritation. Why it is causing anger or irritation? Because they're saying something related to me. Is a thought that takes hold of your mind. So therefore, during any activity, when there is a involvement like that, hold on to a higher level thought that Ashwini ji said. What is the higher level thought? I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am that pure Satchidananda Shiva. So it is, you can use all these, no thought, zero thought approach, or even a higher thought approach. Like how you learn to cook, step by step, you get established in one particular approach with full faith, with full dedication, you follow. That will start guiding you. Is that okay, Deepaji? Is there anything more?
No, sir.
Okay. Is there anything more anybody wants to add, ask, or shall we conclude here? Okay. If there is nothing more, let us end our today's contemplation here. Hari Om.
Hari Om.